Hello, I'm Philip Stoughton. I'm at FermionX in the UK, and I'm with Will Patrick, who's the Managing Director.
Hiya.
Great to see you, Will.
Good to see you too.
Really fascinated by the business because I think this is a story that's happening in other places, but it's kind of unique the way it's happened here. You're actually the third generation. Your grandfather started the business decades ago. You've taken over recently from your father. Talk me through a bit of the history and tell me what the new broom is sweeping through.
Yeah, I mean, it started from my granddad, but my nan as well, 53 years ago now, which is crazy. My granddad was a silkscreen artist, then moved into PCBs. Then my dad took it on, and maybe 20 years ago, moved from PCBs into assembly, and now here we are.
Yeah.
So about 2 years into being managing director now, so into that sort of journey of the third generation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's exciting. A lot's happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because as you have those generations, and clearly pivotal changes, revolutions each time, your revolution seems to be a bit of a digital revolution, and you've really changed the way that the business operates, and you've really built something that is capable of scaling much more quickly and is a bit, perhaps more agile for your customers. What was the strategy behind that? Did you know you were going to do that when you came in, or did you just see as soon as you came in those were the changes that you needed to make?
I saw the gaps, I think. I knew what we did really well. I knew we serviced our customers really well. But I also looked at our revenue for about 10 years before that, and it was completely flat. And I tried to understand why that was. I have no interest in keeping it flat. I want to grow, so I need to know how we did that. And quite quickly I walked in and thought, I think I said earlier, I haven't got years of experience behind me. I don't know every single part number like a lot of the staff did off the bat. I needed a way to say, let's cut through all the mess as such, look at the top level. Can I get this whole thing run on figures and dashboards and top level? So loads of things changed that. I mean, we got a new MES system, which was huge, fully traceable, whereas the other one wasn't, which means everyone needs to add their data. That's a massive cultural change. We're about 2 years into it now. I'd say we're probably about 85% of the way through there. Culturally, people now understand it. Then I got delved quite a lot into Power BI, so I now get all the top level dashboards based on that. If it doesn't work, we fix it at the core. I can show customers a lot of their data from our system now. If they find errors, you create a much more collaboration where they're going, that's not right, and then we say, oh no, it's not, well, we need to fix that our end.
Let's fix it together,
So that pushed a lot of it. Outside of that, I think we just needed a lot better quality controls, so a lot of the investment we've done on machines and our infrastructure and factory helped that. But fixing it really at the root, and it's a long-term strategy, obviously, because I hopefully have quite a long career left in me, so it's worth doing that now rather than, and that's probably the best way to say it. My dad had a sort of 2-3 year plan. I'm looking at a 20-30 year plan. They're just different really, and the step change is a lot of investment initially to give us the infrastructure to grow.
Yeah, and I think, the proof of the pudding is always in the eating and these things, and you said 10 years of static revenue, you've seen last 2 years of quite substantial growth.
Yeah. I think a lot of that is we can give visibility to customers. They like that. We've obviously invested, hundreds of thousands in our facilities. We look a lot better, and we've cleared a lot of space by implementing operational improvements. So now they're looking at a factory floor where they can see a third of it's empty, ready for them to pull more work. Before, like I said, we were reasonably profitable for the size, for the revenue we had. So we needed to sort of strip that all back, start again, put a bit more overheads in. But we've got an infrastructure. And I think also when you have customers around, with a contract manufacturer, you're not selling a product they might buy once and never come back. You're having to sell a partnership. So I think, hopefully, hearing a story of how I'm invested in this for the next 30 years is quite enticing to a business that they know there's stability there as well, and they know it's going to continue, and I'm going to continue to put a lot of effort into their product. Yeah,
I think that's really interesting, and what you're bringing that future-proofing, but you're also drawing on what's happened in the past, and you said, you've got a core ethic of customer service that was really strong. So actually maintaining that and layering that up with tools that allow you to do that even better is hugely advantageous. What are your kind of ambitions for the business? Where do you see it going? Do you see like a nice steady growth?
Yeah, I think so. I think probably created an infrastructure now, we're around 10 million, created an infrastructure that would probably get to 25 without having to increase that many overheads. Each time I think we need more overheads in admin or people. I think we've got a good team around us now. I'm going to lean quite heavily probably on AI and data, where we can do a lot of the admin jobs for us. And that's my goal. Sometimes you're going to have to, but get to that 25 million mark in the same physical infrastructure we have now. We might be able to run shifts, or there's probably ways we can run surface mount, increase capacity. And a lot of the admin work can be done in ways where you don't need a lot more people. That's kind of my goal. And I think we could quite easily achieve that.
Yeah, and you've replaced kind of tribal knowledge, which you had before, people just doing it that way because they'd always done it that way, and they knew almost a feeling of how the lines were tuned and everything, with stuff that's really data-driven, so that's huge. You invested in MES, you've invested in the Koyoung inspection system, which has given you the KSMART data, you've got the Luminovo system. Does that reflect a strategy of like pooling as much data into one resource as possible so you can actually drill down in that area? Yeah,
well, every action someone takes in this factory, there has to be a data point for it. So we're scanning on and off every single jobs where we weren't before. Everything now goes through our main manufacturing system. Luminovo, like I said, great bit of kit. I need to get that with a better link API, so it almost becomes one system in itself. But yeah, and the main thing is you want to get a data point for every action that doesn't make it any slower for the employee or operator as well. So there's things like in stores, we probably want to set up scanners so the whole thing just works a lot cleaner. But we set the infrastructure now, we can see where there's gaps, and I've kind of stripped it all back, and now we need to build it all back up again based on that data.
Yeah, and you're basing it on new data-driven foundations, so the data-driven backbone. You talk about AI, and I think we're seeing AI being used in areas like maybe the Koyoung feeding back to the printer and helping make adjustments there, and the stuff you're doing with Luminovo. But I think as a leader, what you want is to be able to have a overarching system, some kind of agentic system where you can actually interrogate all those to make business decisions. That's an interesting future, but we're away from it.
I think let's see where it goes. I think being a youngest MD, if it doesn't work, maybe the first time round or second time round, it's not a problem. I think we need to learn how it works. But I think things like an MRP or exception reporting, I just imagine where it's just lots of data points and lots of pluses and minuses. If you can get something like AI to just scan through that and say, this is the one I think might be the problem. Who knows yet? Like I said, I've focused on data first, and then maybe AI at a point. But we're kind of stable where we are now. If we got a hell of a lot more sales in and we needed a hell of a lot more overhead, maybe I'd start to sort of implement it at that point. But pretty happy where we are now. Yeah,
you start with data, you layer on insight on top of that, and then you look at where you can deliver value for you, but also deliver value for your customers, which is it's a huge part of it. Will, thanks so much for your time. Thanks for showing around the factory. It looks very impressive now.
You're welcome.
Look forward to our next chat. Thanks.
Cheers. Thanks.